Hey guys, Jessica here. So today we are going to talk about the pumps that I have been referring to as pumps that push, not pull. So this is referring to a handful of wearables. One of them is the Lancino wearable. One of them is the Mom Cozy M5. The Motif Aura is running a very similar program. And here's what these pumps have in common. Instead of putting a lot of suction against the nipple, they're doing something weird, and I don't know how to describe it. On the suction meter, it looks right, it looks normal, but when you're using it, the sensation is very different. So instead of feeling that active pull against the nipple like you feel when you're pumping with a regular flange and pump, you feel the nipple pull forward and then you feel it just relax back. It pulls forward, it relaxes back. This is more like they are pulling the nipple forward and shoving it back. So you feel it shoot back into the breast in a more dramatic manner. And what these pumps all have in common is that we're not seeing the same level of nipple stimulation. So when you use a regular pump, if you look down at your nipples after you get done pumping, they should be elongated to some degree. They don't need to be swollen. We don't need to turn everything into tater tots and hot dogs, but you should see that there is some cylindrical lengthening of the nipple. With these pumps, we're really not seeing that. Sometimes we see a minor color difference, but the nipple does not appear longer, firmer, anything. It's almost like the pump is pushing back into the breast to stimulate the nerves instead of pulling the nipple forward. So the only one, it's kind of hard to see. So like the Mom Cozy M5, I can see it in person when I have the demo breast on this, that there's an exaggerated push back into the tissue. But I can't really show you on video. But Lancino, one of the things they did do well is they made this clear. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this on. And what I want you to see, let me get this situated. Give me just a second. So look here. Yes, the nipple pulls forward, but look how much it is snapping back. And even with appropriate sizing, it still snaps back into that tissue. When you use this pump, you can literally feel it radiate back into the breast. It almost feels like it's punching you on the higher settings. It is a very exaggerated push back. This is not something that we have seen in other breast pumps before. Now let's talk about the implications of this. So when you pump or you nurse, what you're trying to do is you're trying to trigger the release of oxytocin to get a letdown and the release of prolactin to stimulate current and future milk production. These pumps may not be stimulating that proper hormonal release. So you're getting a letdown from the vibration, you're getting a letdown from the really high cycle speeds that these pumps use. So it's lots of really good, quick, light stimulation, but it's not stimulating the nipple quite right. So what we're seeing is that over time, a large number of moms are pumping as often as they need to in an appropriate size flange. They're comfortable, they've been getting good milk output with it, nothing has changed in their routine, and the milk supply is still crashing. Now, we see this phenomenon at other times. We see this when you're nursing a tongue-tied baby. Sometimes we can get to about the 12 to 16 week mark with a tongue-tied baby. They're not causing any pain. Mom's had a really good letdown. The baby seems comfortable at the breast. We know that their oral function is not quite right, but everything seems to be working well enough. And then the supply crashes. And a lot of it's because the nipple wasn't getting the right type of stimulation. It was getting the stimulation it needed to let down, not enough to drive the supply. So what they've basically done is created the pump version of a tongue-tied baby. Why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense. Why would we want a pump that does that? Reality is we don't want a pump that does that. We don't want this technology. The technology as it stands now, it's not something that we need. And they're getting away with it because they're putting it in wearables. And with wearables, we're telling you not to use a wearable all the time. Well, I'm not telling you that. I tell you, here's the inefficiencies of a wearable, here are the limitations. And if you want to pump with it 8 times a day and you understand the limitations, I'm all about informed choice. But other people will tell you only use it once or twice a day. So they blame the mom. You use that Lancino pump or that Mom Cozy M5 4 times a day and your supply tanks, well, it's because you weren't using a primary pump. That's not actually the case here. The case here is that the pump is running this new novel technology that we don't really understand. It has implications. It's the pump version of a tongue-tied baby. It works really well instantaneously, though. For most people, you put these pumps on and you get a very, very fast response. I don't like the feeling of this pump. I don't like it. It's really rough on the nipples in terms of the vibration is aggressive. This to me vibrates in the same obnoxious way that I would say the Medela Max Flow does. It's not a pleasant sensation, but the cycle speeds and that micro vibration technology, they work really, really well. So my body is highly responsive to it, even though it perceives it as a negative stimuli. It's still very responsive to it. The Mom Cozy M5 is not as obnoxious. I actually don't hate this pump in terms of, you know, for occasional use, it probably could be okay. I do really like the flange. I love the double seal flange. I love the oval seal on this. I do think it makes for a more comfortable pumping experience with this technology than the Lancino. But I'm still seeing it tank milk supplies, and I don't know why we would want to pump with a pump that is likely to tank the milk supply. These pumps are not running standard pump technology, and we don't understand it well enough for me to say that this is a good thing. Maybe we'll learn more about it. Maybe it will evolve. Maybe we'll see it on a more stable pump, because this could also be, this Lancino is like a toy. It does not feel like a high quality pump. I have a lot of concerns about this one. And this is a Mom Cozy. They die more often than they don't. I don't understand why there are big name lactation influencers who are professionals who continue to endorse this brand, knowing that their warranty coverage is such crap. So this could be good technology in another pump where we had a better understanding of it and when to use it. It is very effective. It could be great for moms who are not responsive to a pump. It could be great for moms who don't want to pump all the time and struggle to stay responding to a pump. That is an issue we see. Part of the reason Spectra is so great for so many moms is because that vibration helps you continue to respond to the pump. Whereas for a lot of moms, if you don't pump for a couple months and then you just pull it out of the closet one day, your body may not understand that because the letdown reflex is trained. So these pumps that push, not pull, they are really high risk. It's novel technology. We don't understand it. If you're using it, you need to be very cautious. You need to monitor the milk supply. You need to use it very sparingly. And you need to understand that there may be implications of this that we don't understand. And I don't know just how much work it'll take to get the milk supply back if it tanks from this. Because when we see the milk supply tank with a tongue tie, it's normally been a long-term devastation of the supply. It doesn't happen overnight. The supply was not fine. It was just functional enough while the hormones were dropping. It takes a lot of work to get that back. And it's the same thing with these pumps. We can't just switch you out to another pump and expect it to instantaneously be better. And these pumps are preying on moms who just want pumping to not be as big of an inconvenience as it is. They just want a convenient pumping option. And this promises it, but it's not delivering it long term. So I really caution you to think before spending money on these wearables. There are better options out there. There are even cost-effective options out there if you need them that are running more standard technology that we understand and we're seeing good results with. If you want to play with this, if you have a hard time responding and you want to give these a try, give them a try, but understand we don't really know as much about this technology as I feel like we should to be making the recommendation to use it. And I would proceed with extreme caution. I would love to hear how these are working for you. And maybe we will learn more about it. Maybe a year from now, I can make a follow-up video and tell you that, hey, we found all these great things with this technology, and these are use cases that we had not even dreamed that we could use it for. And I would love that. I love being proven wrong. And in this case, where I think these pumps could be sabotaging moms, I want to be wrong. I don't think I am, but I do think this is something moms should proceed with caution. So if you want to know more about these, please ask me any questions you have. I'm happy to test these pumps, continue working with moms and see how are they working and what are the long-term implications. But yeah, let me know what your questions are and if you have any thoughts on this.